Okay, thank you so much. But first, I would like to take an example of a sport that is very often or usually take the instantaneous naturalization for foreign athletes in order um, to improve um, the skills in Indonesia, the skills of sport activities in Indonesia. Um, that is the football games, football sports. We can know Christian Gonzalez or Irfan Bahdim or any other foreign athletes that was being instantaneously naturalized by the government of Indonesia. But we, as the government, would disallow the practice of instantaneously naturalizing foreign athletes to serve on national sport teams. Before we begin our arguments why we would disallow this practice of instantaneously naturalizing, we would like to explain again what is actually instantaneous naturalizing. So instantaneous naturalizing is actually a process of granting a foreigner citizenship of a country that bypass the usual process of naturalization. We can take generally varies according to countries. For example, Malaysia requires the foreigner to have resided in the country, Malaysia, for at last 10 years in period of 12 years. So, instantaneous naturalizing is done much faster and often for a specific purpose. So it has to be for a specific purpose. That's why it is done faster. For example, for these athletes, they have to join a specific sport teams. That's why they can get naturalizing done faster than the usual process. But now, the matter of fact, in Indonesia, this instantaneous naturalizing is actually has been done for many years, for the last many years, especially for football teams, football sport teams. But as a matter of fact, it doesn't affect much. It doesn't have a big impact for the sport, for football sport in Indonesia. We can take football sports for the general, for our discussion right now, for our debate right now, and it doesn't have any significant impact. Whereas the main purpose when we were first applying this instantaneous naturalizing was actually to support the original talented the Indonesian talents from Indonesia, so that they can have motivation, they can be motivated by the foreign athletes, which is we believe that they have more skills to be, so that the Indonesian talents can what is it can widen their skills, can widen their skills, can improve their skills, so that they can support our sport teams to win many competitions that we have targeted, that we have been targeted, that we have targeted. Yeah. But in fact, there has no significant impact for that. We know that we haven't won any competition, any big competition. Um, even it is only a national competitions. While we need to widen our what is it our wings, not only in national sports but also in international sports, for example like Asian Games, for example like Olympics, like that. But we haven't got any champions. We haven't won any competition. If we take an example that the sports that usually use the international relations, for example the footballs, we haven't won any competition for football teams, right? That's why this is the burden of proof that we need to disallow the practice of instantaneously naturalizing, since it has no big impacts. Although we have been improving our improving the practice of instantaneously naturalizing for many years, for the last many years. That's why we need to disallow. We have the burden to disallow the practice of instantaneously naturalizing foreign athletes. But the thing is that why this instantaneously naturalizing foreign athletes has no impact, has no big impact for the last many years that I have said before. We have the reasons. First reason is that if we use the usual process of naturalizing, we can indicate that a person, that we want to we want to naturalize, or we want to be a citizenship of a country. We need to follow the usual process of that naturalizing, and that can indicate that is the seriousness of us. That is the the intention of our the intention from every person, that he or she wants to be naturalized to be the citizenship of that country. But if we apply the instantaneously naturalizing, although it is for a specific purpose, and we know that their specific purpose is actually very good, but we doesn't know what is the intention of his person, of them. I mean, the person who is going to be naturalized instantaneously. So that's why, for example, the foreign athletes is going to be naturalized instantaneously. Maybe their purpose is not to really help Indonesia to support our national sport teams, but maybe they want the money or something. But that's why we cannot know their background to be naturalized in Indonesia. So we cannot be sure that they will be beneficial for us. They can be beneficial for us. And then the second and also the third thing is that we can get the investment loss. We know that we have been doing so many investment for national sport teams, right? As for example, the football teams, we have been investing for the training for the athletes, and also we must do the instantaneously naturalizing. What for? We are asking what for. If we have been investing for the training to improve the skills of the Indonesian talents, why should we do the instantaneously naturalizing for foreign athletes, since it is also has impacts for every talents in Indonesia, that they can be intimidated by the foreign athletes that is naturalized instantaneously. So it can bury the talent of Indonesian player sports. Thank you.